I do not believe that language is in any way a useful tool when communicating thoughts, ideas, or concepts. Again, I have a serious problem believing that language is in any way a useful tool to communicate thoughts, ideas, or concepts. Why? Because language has simply proven itself to be inadequate. It has proven itself to be incomprehensible as well as lacking. Now, I would spend the necessary time to prove this, but I believe it to be very self-evident that, simply stated, language is an impossible thing to communicate with. Now, do I have an answer for a better alternative? No, I haven't quite come up with one yet. But for now, I just know that language does not work. Furthermore, I have a serious problem believing that the letter A exists. Now, in essence, the letter A may exist per se, but unless I feel it, unless I see it, or unless I experience it in any other way with my feelings or emotions, then it is an impossibility for me to believe that the letter A exists. In addition, I have a serious problem believing that the laws of logic are real. But I won't belabor that point too much right now. Suffice to say that logic is illogical. And hopefully, by the time we end our discussion tonight, I will have proved to you that there are absolutely no absolutes, that there are absolutely no truths that govern all men everywhere, and that, with your good patience, all truth is absolutely relative. Now, if that got your attention and you're wondering whether I have fallen from faith and from the grace, please bear with me. You see, what's amazing is that while I claimed to not believe that logic was useful, I had no other option, and still have no other option, but to use language, even when using it to try to prove that language is not usable. I was thoroughly inconsistent with my own belief system. It just didn't make sense. And what's worse for me, believing that, is that I had no other choice but to use language to try to prove that language is not usable. Now, in my second example, I claimed to not believe in the letter A. But yet, in order to explain this, I had no other option but to use the letter A in my speech. I have A's all over the speech. I can count hundreds of them right here. And so once again, I ran into another major self-contradiction. I also claimed to not believe in the laws of logic. But wait, when I claimed that, I had no other option but to use the laws of logic in order to explain that logic is not usable. That's not good logic. My presentation tonight is hopefully simple and already making sense. It is this: non-Christian worldviews are inherently inconsistent and must contradict themselves at the very core of their belief system in order to make their own basic claims. Non-Christian worldviews cannot account for themselves. It's not only that they contradict the Christian faith. They do, that's obvious. We all know they contradict the Christian faith. But I'm here tonight to show you that they contradict themselves. Their premises cannot account for their claims. What they believe, they deny. And what they claim, they borrow. We just let them get away with it, and we place ourselves in a defensive mode. The non-Christian worldviews actually have to borrow from the Christian worldview's basic premises to make their own claims. The Christian worldview, however, is the only one that can account for itself and the world in which we live. And so that is why my title for tonight's presentation is this: Christianity, is the only one that makes sense. I will seek to do the following. First, I will present the contradiction and show you how this contradiction is common in all non-Christian worldviews. Second, I will identify several major alternatives to the Christian worldview and show you their self-contradictions. And third, I will lay out for you the biblical worldview.